Hello everyone, this is Bella Bablumian, the founder of the Embody Wellness Institute and the creator of the Sensefulness Method for reconnecting to the innate language of our body and to the pleasure, the forgotten component that can guide us to our health, well-being, vitality, and purpose. And today I actually want to share this dilemma that I faced for a while, and it's dawned on me that this dilemma is actually the answer to how I need to position my company. So as an entrepreneur and as a business owner, I've always, from the very beginning, been told, focus on one specific problem. Show your target audience what you're trying to help them solve. Are you helping people to lose weight? Are you helping people to get into better relationships? Are you helping them find their purpose? What is it that you do? And that's exactly the issue. I don't want to give you fragmented answers. And the whole point of the pleasurable wellness movement is to reunite all of those fragments and divisions that we have created within ourselves. As someone that has studied wellness, healthy living, psychology, health policy, kind of on a macro level, I see all of those aspects and things as part of the same journey. And I want to help you reconnect those fragments. So instead of, having a physical body that's focused on losing weight, and being in shape, and then the mental part of you that's trying to get rid of all the negative thinking, and then the spiritual part of you that's seeking all the answers and finding purpose. How about we really bring it all into one big focus of who am I, what are my desires, and what am I pursuing in this life? And I'm going to explain why I'm against this problem-solving solution, which is kind of the mainstream in all of the businesses related to healthy living and wellness, and just in general in our society. So if you focus on losing those couple of pounds, right, or you're trying to quit smoking, or you're trying to get rid of those negative thoughts, your brain, if you study NLP or any kind of behavioral approach, that if your brain focuses on the problem, you will never get rid of the problem, because the issue is that your brain doesn't understand the particle no. So if you constantly say wait, negative thoughts, smoking, that's what your brain registers, and you get fixated on that, and your brain thinks that that's what you want, and that's what you get. You never lose those pounds, you never quit smoking, and your negative thoughts are actually even more overwhelming. The pleasurable wellness movement is actually a very powerful tool for you to shift that mentality altogether. When we focus on this, and it's one overarching feel of I want to experience vitality, I want to experience pleasure in everything I do. And I'm not talking about, this fleeting pleasure. I'm talking about the intrinsic pleasure of doing the very simple things in life, the pleasure that our body is capable of. That's when the problems just fall off the earth. They're not problems anymore. And for example, with eating, you start focusing instead of the goal-oriented problem, right? I'm trying to solve the problem of losing those 10 pounds and I have to do this and this and that. You refocus that on a process. How can I feel better with food so that I'm eating? How can I bring more energy? And how can I enjoy the process? All of a sudden, you start looking at foods in a different way. You go to that organic market and you are mesmerized by the fruits and vegetables, and you have that interaction with them, and they're speaking to you, and you bring them home and you're in the kitchen really engaging in that creative process, and then all of a sudden you have this delicious meal, and you're smelling and tasting it and touching it, and the whole thing is healthy eating, but you're not trying anymore. You are enjoying it, and pleasure will make you stick to those behaviors. If something is enjoyable, obviously you're going to stick to it more. That's proven science. But what's even more amazing is that pleasure in and of itself, if you're enjoying the whole process, you are boosting your immune system, you're improving appearance and the energy levels, you are really feeling the vitality, your killer cell activity is boosted. There's a number of benefits in experiencing pleasure. Another shift that we need to make is from goal-oriented to process-oriented. If we look at foods, as we do now, as a, it's like we gobble it down in 2 minutes, and it's supposed to either give us the proteins we need or whatever, be as least caloric so that we can really lose the weight. So we see it as this, we interact with food in a very goal-oriented way. We don't allow it to really be experienced. We're losing 80% of the most important part that this eating experience is supposed to be, which is the interaction, which is the enjoyment. And when we end up engaging in these activities, which are about healthy living, in such a transactional way, we end up feeling this hole in our body, it's like the emptiness, because the very things that were supposed to give us pleasure, and guess what? That was our purpose in life: was getting food, surviving, and moving around, and copulating to have children. That was the purpose in life. So if we're reducing these activities to reaching our goals and objectives, then we miss the very processes, the enjoying processes that were supposed to fulfill us. And that messes with our emotional well-being, that messes with our sense of purpose, that messes with our having this healthy habits, and it creates addictions, because all of a sudden you're not experiencing all the adrenaline, all the feel-good hormones that you're supposed to, that your body is capable of. I want to give another example. Even with sex and sexuality, it's very much goal-oriented too, and that misses the whole purpose. So this whole 7-minute rush to an orgasm, that's not what sex was supposed to be about. 7 minutes is the average that people have a sexual interaction. And, before even engaging in sex, you need to focus on your sexual energy. Like, am I aroused? Am I connected to my body? Am I feeling it? And when you really connect to that powerful energy, which is, by the way, is not just about sex. It's very much about creativity. It's about vitality. It's about health. We need to widen that, definition of what sexual energy is. So when you're connected with that energy, all of a sudden, and if the other person is as well, all of a sudden that interaction in and of itself becomes even more powerful than an orgasm, because a touch, a look, or any kind of, that interaction becomes extremely pleasurable. So that's the first part. And then we really, even foreplay becomes very goal-oriented. So, I'm supposed to do this, this, and this to make the woman feel this and that and that. And then to be able to do what I'm focused on, which is the penetration and an orgasm. Sorry to break it down that way, but that doesn't work. So the process of really enjoying every moment of it adds so much depth to the whole process. And guess what? That's why our relationships are so unfulfilling and so fleeting, and we go from one partner to another, because we're not doing it in the way that our bodies were meant to do it. We were supposed to really engage with all of our senses. We were supposed to experience things. We were supposed to, these simple behaviors, eating, movement, sexuality, breathing, all of those were supposed to be done in a non-rushed and really non-goal-oriented way. So this program that I'm launching on March 22nd, which is called In Love with Life, is about that. How about we stop focusing on these goals and we try to get into that mindset, or we get into that mindset of perceiving life as this opportunity to be in love with everything, to experience that heightened emotion. And that will help you solve all of those issues that you have, the weight issues and the relationship issues, and all of a sudden you'll have less things to, on your to-do list, because you have combined everything into one, this unified road of pleasurable wellness. So join us, don't miss this chance to really be part of a new movement. Let's shift away from that goal-oriented, problem-solving mentality when it comes to our health and well-being, and really embrace a new state of being, the pleasurable wellness being. Thank you so much for listening.